You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zach, but you guys can call me Hazardous. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel, and welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption 2 podcast stream here. We have Irue399 and Red Dead 2 videos here on the channel again. If you're watching on my channel, thanks for tuning in. Their links are down in the description to check them out, and if you're watching on one of their channels, we kind of do this thing as like a weekly recap of Red Dead Redemption 2 news and things like that. And so today's video topics, we're going to be talking about the PC release and some other stuff. But I'll give these guys an opportunity to say hello. So, Rue, how are you doing?
I am doing very well. It's a bit late because we've been spending like hours and hours and hours talking about Fortnite and other things that aren't Red Dead.
Yeah.
But I'm doing well. We're doing okay. It's a quiet week this week, I thought. But
For sure.
some interesting stuff like that's come up that I'm looking forward to have a bit of a talk about.
Exactly. And then Mr. Red Dead 2 videos, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I think we're all doing
That's
good,
good,
which is
that's
good.
good.
It's been, like Rue said, it's been a quiet week, but we had one big leak, which is pretty cool that we all talked about on our channels. I think the YouTube algorithm is trying to drag us down once again, as you can see. But
Well, it's an interesting thought that because I haven't been here for like the GTA PC release. I wasn't sure because like all of our videos about the PC edition stuff got lower views, didn't it?
yeah,
Like mine did. I know Dean said his weren't so like impressive.
Yeah,
And-
like 300 views.
Yeah, it's impressive for like that it's happened to all of us, and when it happens like that, very often, creators will go to the YouTube Twitter page and start telling them to fix it. And like sort yourself out, YouTube. You're obviously not sending our videos around. But I've noticed that very often PC stuff doesn't get a huge amount of interest. So I was wondering, is the PC version of the game actually as important as the loudest people in our comment sections will have us believe? Because sometimes I'm not entirely sure that's the case.
it
I
is
wonder
a
what you
big
thought, 'cause,
discrepancy.
like,
There.
is it YouTube screwing us over, or is it just that people aren't like hugely like interested?
Well, I'm gonna speak on this one because I had a video a couple of months ago. I'm not sure. It could be, it could be YouTube. It could be that people just really aren't interested, or it could be just, yeah, PC has a smaller market in terms of, Red Dead Redemption 2. And of course, we don't know much about PC, nor did Rockstar state this. But obviously, we're going to talk about the leak that came up this week. And that video done well. Like, it got 5,000 views, and then it just died off. And it's really hard to blame whether if it was YouTube or if it's just that the PC market is small right now.
If it wasn't for the fact that all three of our videos didn't do so well, I'd probably like it's so hard. Like I
Yeah.
remember Rockstar said that GTA 5's PC sales accounted for like 5% tops of all sales for GTA. So it really is a small figure. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, what we had was a leak, wasn't it? So it was like a Reddit post, from what I remember, where it was like sort of a job advertisement where people were looking for programmers, and it was Red Dead 2, wasn't it? It was a PC, Xbox, and PS4. But that basically confirmed PC in a roundabout way, and it probably will. They'll at some point, announce PC soon. They always do that, coming soon, and soon means 2020. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just because it's a comments thing as well. Like it just seemed like the video didn't do as well, and I'm inclined to think it's because people aren't hugely interested, even though YouTube has been known to not be that interested in us.
Yeah, fighting against a lot of forces. I think, yeah, because my video yesterday on the PC thing, or sorry, not yesterday, 2 days ago, didn't do as well as usual, right? And then the video I uploaded last night as well hasn't been uber successful. So I'm not sure. I mean, in some way, just what's happening with the lack of interest in the PC thing. That video didn't get a lot of views, and so that kind of messed with the momentum we all had because my video yesterday didn't do too well. And it was also a Friday, and people are out with their friends, and they're just not watching YouTube videos. So I think that comes into play. We'll see what happens with these videos as well. But for anyone watching, if you guys are enjoying, definitely drop a like. That would be greatly appreciated. It helps us all out. Definitely check out their channels in the description.
It does, man. Like it's nice to see. Like I think we sort of benefited from the E3 the E3 incident, I'll call it, where like we all did fairly well. I don't know if you can hear this cat screaming outside. But yeah, we all did fairly well, and like I sort of expected that it would like quieten up, and somewhere along the line it gets quiet. Because like if you think the last trailer that we had was like start of May, we're now coming into July. You know, it's a long time, so it gets quiet. But eventually, like we'll get some news, and then everybody will be back. We'll all be crazy, and we'll all be talking about stuff. So it's like it's quite hard sometimes to like keep it going when it's quiet like this. Like that's the thing that I forget. Like sometimes it just ebbs and flows. Like you'll have high days, and then you'll have like a week or two where nothing happens at all, and then like 10 days in a row it'll go crazy.
Very true. Got to keep that in mind. Got to keep that in mind for sure. But yeah, what do you guys think about that whole, that little screenshot leak of the PC? I guess in terms of, are you guys going to be playing it on PC? I mean, I'll probably pick it up just to see what other mods come out for. That's what I'm most excited for, actually, is to see what, if this actually does come out on PC, is to see what the modding community does with Red Dead 2, because we didn't get to see what they would do with Red Dead 1.
You're going to end up getting a dunce hat on.
Even like single player mods, like they had like Iron Man and the Hulk characters and like the GTA 5 solo mods and things like that. I'd be interested in seeing that. And like they had the typical there was one in GTA 4. It was a bus. It was like a standard city bus, but it had a weight value of like 10 trillion something. So no matter what you did, you would just barrel through like cars on a bridge. And so they drive this bus down. This guy modded like 1,000 cars on the bridge and got in the bus and drove through all them, and like the game totally crashed. So I'd be interested in seeing something like that with Red Dead 2.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I think most of the time when people talk about like PC gaming, that they're interested in better graphics and that sort of thing. Better graphics. Yeah. Usually the game can do more itself. So like the biggest highlight for me in GTA 5 was the pedestrians and cars. Like you could just fit so many more on in comparison to like Xbox and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The draw distance was huge.
Yeah, draw distance, that sort of thing. I know I'm not expecting enormous frame rates out of Red Dead 2 because GTA 5, it just runs 60 frames per second. You could have the best computer ever and set everything to max. It'll still run at 60. It seems like Rockstar went with stability over like max specs. So, like, you can chuck whatever, but they've optimized it for 60 frames a second.
Okay.
So you get a smooth 60 instead of a juddery 200 and then 150 and then, that sort of thing. So keeping in line with that, I expect that's what they'd do for Red Dead Redemption. Like, because they tend to do the same things because they work. Like, that they did for GTA 5 effectively what they did with Max Payne. And Max Payne was not a bad PC port.
Definitely not. I never played it on PC. I had it on 360, but that was good.
That's when I played it. That's when I played it. I did look at Total Biscuit's review of Max Payne 3 at one point. He got annoyed at the non-skippable cutscenes, but like that's sort of the game.
Yeah, the cutscenes were different than Rockstar usually does. Like GTA, it's fine because you go to a location and you like watch an interaction, and the guy says like, "Oh, hey, go out and steal this or kill someone." You can kind of skip that. With Max Payne, it was like, that's the whole reason you were playing, was like watching what was going on in this dude's head, essentially. Like,
yeah, it was a story that was interactive, and it did it very well, man. I loved Max Payne. I'm looking forward to doing that on a live stream somewhere down the line where we like go through play all of them. Like it's because those like I always think like sometimes like the only Rockstar game I ever played was like GTA 4 for a long time. And then you go back, like I was too young to play like Vice City and stuff when they were new. So like at some point, so at some point I mean like properly too young, like 12, 11, 12. Yeah. So like not really even old enough to kind of understand what the game is. And then at some point you go back and you play them and you realize, these are good games. And then you branch off slightly. So like Max Payne was just awesome, man. It was an awesome game. And like, so was Red Dead Redemption. Like I know so many people that like never played Red Dead. And I'm like, you've missed out, man, on some glorious, like Rockstar make good games in pretty much all departments.
Yeah,
So
it was a
like,
masterpiece for its time,
yeah,
especially
it
in
was.
2010.
Oh man, like it wasn't an enormous success. Red Dead Redemption. Funnily enough, like it's interesting that they've done Red Dead Redemption 2 because Red Dead wasn't like the biggest game ever. In fact, I'm pretty sure like there were plenty of critics that came out and didn't like the game. But like, it did well. It just wasn't like it's not GTA
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
It's not gonna break records.
true.
Um, but it was very good, man. Like the biggest difference was the graphics. So like GTA 4 was Rockstar's game before that, and then they came out with Red Dead Redemption, and the graphics were just so much better. Like people forget now because it's got such great graphics, but GTA 4 in comparison to Red Dead Redemption was like light years apart. It was insane, and then you got the physics on top. So like it's just, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like, do you remember that Hazard, all the different the graphics and stuff for the two different games?
Oh yeah, I love them both. I mean, GTA's 4s were still really impressive for 2008, but Red Dead Redemption 1 in 2010 was still, like you said, it was leagues better.
Yeah, like that was it. We were impressed by GTA 4s, and then a couple of years later on, they come out with Red Dead, and it was just like miles better still. Few reasons for that, interestingly. Not only had they had a bit more time to work with the engine that they were doing, but it was also to do with the fact that they didn't have to render so many buildings. So it wasn't like there's no cars, there's no like that sort of craziness going on. It was all just like landscape. So they really focused on the landscape as opposed to like, they could actually spend a lot of time on it and make it look great.
Yeah.
So it seems like though, moving on slightly, I know we're sort of veering off. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to have an enormous focus on AI. I think Rockstar are doing AI this time, as opposed to physics. Like Red Dead and Max Payne, they were working on physics. I think this time they're working on AI to make things seem like they're real characters and real people.
Yeah, because you're always dealing with AI players in the video game anyways. So it makes more sense if they do focus a lot on them and make the world as interactive as possible, because at the end of the day, it's all based on interaction and how you approach the story of the game. So I think that is interesting. And hopefully that all of the things that IGN came out and talked about are true.
Who do you think has it? AI?
Yeah, I think I definitely think that's going to be a huge focus. I know IGN and kind of Rockstar themselves, well, through IGN and those types of publishers, they've said that Rockstar's focus is AI, and I definitely kind of believe them with that. And that's why, I mean, I love a good story just like anyone else, but I'm really excited for the multiplayer and the online portion of this game. Just because I never really gave GTA Online a real chance when it came out. I liked it, but I got bored pretty quick, and I was like, I just prefer GTA 4's mayhem of free roam. But now I really buy into the whole GTA Online, like all the business DLCs and stuff, and I think what's lacking in GTA is going to be fixed with Red Dead 2, and the fact that there's no like character interaction in GTA's online mode, whereas in Red Dead Redemption 2 we can see a lot of cool things just from how advanced their AI technology is nowadays. So that's something I want to see, is kind of where I'm interested in seeing is how that translates to the online mode, because I think storytelling is a big part of Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's going to be even better when you have these characters that come to life and are in the online portion as well, that have their own role and are doing their own things according to how you as a player are playing the game. And I think that would be pretty neat to see.
Yeah, it's one of those where like Rockstar tend to pick a thing and then they improve it and like work on it. So like you said, I think online, to be honest, I know we keep running through topic after topic here, but I get like a little kid when it comes to talking about this sort of stuff.
Same here.
If you think like the online with GTA Online, they had a bit of a plan, but I don't think they ever anticipated quite how successful it was going to be. Because it's definitely the biggest success from GTA. Like, for years, it sort of just kind of carried on with the online. But imagine if they were doing single-player DLC. People come out and play it for a little bit, and then they go away again. Whereas GTA Online, there are people that have been playing since 2013, still there, just grinding away. I think with Red Dead, we're going to start with maybe like 12 months worth of GTA 5. Like, because they've had a chance to plan it now and sort of have a bit of an idea of what they're doing and you know, go in depth a little bit more with that sort of thing, as opposed to GTA, where it's a completely blank slate, and they kind of, you know, sort of planned around the success as opposed to planning for it, which is what I think they'll do for Red Dead.
100%.
So, on the topic of news coming soon, what do you guys think of an Arthur Morgan trailer versus the Vandalin gang trailer? I mean, for me, anyways, I just want to see an Arthur trailer so we can see more about his background and story. Because I think from the trailers we got so far, yeah, they're good, and we see a tough side to Arthur. And I know a lot of people are going to nail me in the comment section about Arthur, how I pronounce his name. Arthur.
Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, I really want to see more about his life and his background and who he is and where he came from. Because I know there is a lot of talk that Arthur was raised up with the Dutch gang and that he was brought up. I think that is really interesting. You know, just as we saw in the trailer, Arthur is just this big, bulky guy who more or less people are afraid to see him in the game, and they're just afraid of Arthur. What do you guys think?
He's probably built like you, Dean. Massive. He's a henchman that's just an unstoppable force on the back of a horse.
Well, the secret is play Fortnite a lot.
Forever.
Forever.
How many wins do you have? All of them.